Larry Bird has reported to camp, but his contract is up in 2 years. He wants a new deal right now. The Celtics aren't negotiating with him, and he was asked if he'll become a free agent.
I never go free agency. I'd probably quit before I did that. You know, I think if it came down to that, I've said before I might, but, you know, if I really sit down and think about it, there's no way. I play my 2 years and just get out of it. If I play an extra year or 2 years, it'd be with the Celtics, unless they trade me. I'll give them everything I got while I have it, and I think that I got a few years left in me, and hopefully we can get together and win some championships.
My ass got busted real early, man. I came into the league, man, I was 19. You know how some of them vets, man, they play you to the T, man. I got played down in Boston one night. We was playing Boston Celtics. So the great Larry Bird, I didn't really know much about, I'm from Indiana, Larry's from Indiana. I knew about the history of Larry, but I didn't realize how he really got down. When we got to Boston that morning, I knew something wasn't right. I saw an X-Man, and he was limping around the court a little bit like he was sore. I figured he'd be all right, I figured he'd be all right by that time. I go to the game on the early bus. I get there. They come out on the court. They say, "Hey, Sean, you starting tonight against Larry." And I was like, okay. I'm all for it, though, So the X-Man, he didn't play. He had a sore knee. But my point to you is this: Larry gave me 50 and 3/4. He talked to me the whole entire game.
What did he say?
Well, first of all, he asked me at the jump ball. He said, "You the cat that broke all my records in high school, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He goes, "Yeah, you the one that used to dunk my brother too, right? Eddie." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "I got you tonight." So every shot he was calling, at the defensive end, he would tell me, he'd be like, "When I get down to the other end, I'm gonna pump face you, get a hand one on you, look at you, go off the glass." That's how cold Larry Bird was. From the streets, man, I was to the point of like, look, I'm gonna foul him so hard that he's basically gonna take his will. He started shooting the ball with his left hand, man. I was trying to foul his right arm. He was shooting with his left hand, making it off on me, looking at me, still slapping me on my butt and everything.
Oh my God, Bird talked trash to everybody. I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, "Larry, what's going on with you?" He says, "You guys are being disrespectful to me." And I says, "What are you talking about?" He says, "You guys are putting a white guy on me." That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on him?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. He says, "It's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me." And I'm sitting there like, I'm laughing in the middle of a game. He said,
we're playing the Celtics, and we're getting ready for the jump ball. And I'm starting, and I'm guarding Larry Bird. Then Chris is out there. Hi to Larry, shake hands, blah, blah, blah. And Larry looks at me. And he looks over at Chris. And do you remember what he said to you? He goes, "You guys gonna guard me with a white guy?"
Let me tell you though.
I looked over at Larry, I go, "Dude, I'm just trying to make a living, all right?"
Yeah.
Easy. He was unbelievable. He really was. He took a shot one time. I went up to the
I remember that one.
You do?
Yeah.
I went up to
You did the college thing. Shot.
I go, "Shot." And he goes, "Yes, it is." And I turned around.
Did you have to do it in Arizona?
I don't know. I got to be honest with you. That's probably the only time I ever did that. I don't even know why I did it. I just thought I
got your head into jump ball.
I was like, "Damn you, Bird, you bastard."
I always thought of myself as a very, very confident player.
Yeah.
But Bird especially, and had a whole nother level of confidence than I ever was able to accomplish and achieve. But he just gave you so much confidence. Like you could depend on him. You could just see like his confidence, and like he just like added to everybody else's confidence. He was great. I mean, he was a worker. We played a lot of one-on-one, full court, like half court, full court basketball, just, in practice every day. I got to know Larry really well, but he was a great worker, a great teammate. He told me, like when he didn't think I was taking a good shot, bro, when I played with Bird, he'd pass it. He'd get double teamed. He'd throw me the ball. But if I miss 3, I'm not coming back to me.
Right up.
You got to earn those shots.
You do.
You got to earn the respect of your coach and your star players all the time. You know, every game you got to like be reliable and dependable. And that was what I loved about Bird. Well, I mean, Larry was a quiet guy, and he wasn't like a loud and obnoxious personality, but he had a great sense of humor, and he was a character. And most of the time, his trash talking, it seemed like it was for motivation. It wasn't like he was just always trash talking to everybody. It was spotty, but when he did it, it was big.
Right.
You know, like is Xavier McDaniel's story where, I'm going to shoot it fake here, shoot it there. And, and they did exactly. And it had nothing to do with the play call.
Right.
Like our coach would call timeout and we're going to do this. And like we walk on the court and Bird just looks at me and goes, no, give me the ball right there. And then he does what he told McDaniel he was going to do. He didn't usually trash talk to like Magic, Dr. J, guys like that. He just, he had so much respect for them. But I remember the big fight between him and Dr. J where Moses and we're holding him back and Dr. J was swinging. It was like so uncharacteristic of Dr. J.
I think Bird was pissed off, and to this day I'm not exactly sure why. I watched some videotapes too, and he was clearly pissed off. I wasn't mad. I mean, Larry and I were standing there, a good 10 or 12 seconds before anything really happened, and then the whole thing blew up, and during that time, if an official was right there, I mean, he would have ran right in and separated us.
I'm listening to a game. It's New Mexico State playing Indiana State. I don't really care about the game, but New Mexico State is right up the street from El Paso, and I went to UTEP, and we're big rivalries. So I'm hoping that Indiana State will beat New Mexico State. And I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right. Bird. He makes the strike. Bird. I said, God damn, who is Bird? Bird. Here's Bird. And Bird this, and Bird. Oh, did you see the pass that Bird made? I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. And when the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. Hey, let me tell you something. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn.
So we lit their ass up, and then something happened. We're sitting there, and we get back to the hotel. Rodney Rogers says something it's a group of them. It's Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and everybody's shooting the shit. And Rodney Rogers said, hey, Larry, you ain't hit a jumper since '84. Magic heard that shit. And we ain't think nothing of it. The next day we came in, and I never seen this. And this one I was like, this is a different breed. Magic Johnson fed Larry Bird the ball probably about 8 times in a row down court. Larry Bird got the ball on Rodney Rogers, and every time he was about to make a move, he told him what he was going to do. One dribble, pull up, going left, off glass. One dribble, going right, spin, shot, bucket. He scored 9 times or 8 times in a row, left the court to go lay down because he couldn't sit on a bench. He had to lay down because of his back. And said, young fella, look like 84, huh?
Last time he made
yeah.